You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast with your hosts, Chad and Dale. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast. I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
So it's episode 230.
230.
Right.
Here we go.
230
right
and roster set.
Yeah.
Game one lineup set.
Yep.
We're ready to. Now the season starts, man. Now it starts.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll say like what the opening night lineup is going to be. I also made an opening night lineup that I would have put out there. Did you do the same?
I did, yeah.
Like I would not have it the way that they're doing it. Obviously, they know more than me. I just would a few tweaks in there for me, but so we can share those and whatever. But I guess right out of the gates, Big Dick Nick Robertson, man. Like I think this guy, without a doubt, he was the best player in camp. Best player in camp, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, he scored what, 5 straight goals?
Yeah, their last 5 goals, I think. He didn't play the last game.
But he played and he scored 5 straight goals. He scored every goal
in 3 games or
in
something
3 games.
like that. Yeah. So very impressed by him. They've got him starting on the third line. I'm not so sure that that's the right call, but I guess we can get more into that as we like talk about the roster. So do you want to say do you have the official roster in front of you, or the line?
I do, yeah.
Do you have the line combinations from today?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to go with that, and then we'll get into what I would have did, and if you would have did anything different?
For sure. Before we start, I just want to quickly say that I did start up the Tip In Fantasy Hockey League. So we will put a link in the description on this YouTube video. If you want to join, just click on the link, join the Fantasy Hockey League, start your team, and we're going to have an auto draft coming up soon.
Awesome.
Do you want me to just do first line and we'll talk about it, or say the whole thing?
I would say just say the whole thing, line combinations from practice today, and then we'll get into what we might have done different.
All right, so here's what they had today. The first line, no surprise, Austin Matthews with Mitch Marner and Matthew Knies. Second line, they had JT, John Tavares with William Nylander and Max Domi. Third line, they had Holmberg with Robertson and Pacioretty. Fourth line, they had Lorenz, Kampf, and Reeves. And Bobby McMahon would be the odd man out on the opening night roster.
So Lorenz and Pacioretty, to no one's surprise, signed contracts. Yeah, 1-year contracts.
Signed contracts and made the team. Is it a surprise that Pacioretty's going to get in game one? Maybe. On defense, Riley and Tanev.
Sorry, he was out. He was not on a line, Pacioretty?
Yeah, he's on the third line. Bobby McMahon is not on a line.
Okay.
Bobby McMahon was the 13th forward.
Okay.
Morgan Riley and Chris Tanev on D. Ekman Larson, Jake McCabe, and then Benoit and Timmins and Myers and Liljegren are the odd men out.
Yeah. Okay.
Not only that, it kind of looks like Liljegren is behind Myers.
Yeah. He didn't have a great camp.
He had a terrible camp.
There's other guys who didn't have great camps either, but
and then Wall and Stolarz.
Yeah. Matt Murray cleared waivers and will be playing for the Toronto Marlies.
Thank Christ.
Well, I mean, with Hillbilly in there now, I'm not sure it's going to matter about Murdoch. I think Hillbilly might be the guy if there's an injury to come up, but we'll see. Okay, so do you love that opening night lineup? Is yours similar? Because I've got mine here. It doesn't look like that. It's not super far off, but I've got different line combinations that I would have done personally.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's not far off.
So do you want me to rip it or what? Rip through what I would do or what I would have did?
Rip through what you would have done. And again, you asked me if I loved it. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't hate it.
Well, what do you like about it? What don't you like about it before we give ours?
Well, okay, I like the first line. I like Matthews Marner, and I like Matthew Knies on the left wing. I heard a lot of people talking about Well, Nyes has only ever had, like, even in college, he only had 40 points, and he's never been a guy to bury the puck, and he's never been, he's never put up big points. He's never done this. Well, you know what? We used to have a guy in town that everyone said that about. His name was Zach Hyman.
Huh.
Everybody used to say that about Zach Hyman, and you know what?
Big mistake in the last 10 years.
What?
The biggest mistake the franchise made in the last 10 years. But yeah, I like how you let that guy go was absolutely mind-blowing.
Okay, that's not my point.
I know, but just
not my point. My point is,
and
you get sidetracked. My point is, if you're paying attention, is that, yeah, like I like Matthew Nyes on the top line, and I want to give this a good run on the top line.
Yeah,
and all those people that are like, well, he didn't get points and he didn't do this. Neither did Zach Hyman, and it turned out to, like, you might have another guy like that. He gets more experience, he gets bigger, stronger. I'm not saying he's going to score 50 goals like Hyman did.
Yeah.
I'm just saying he could progress. He could take a huge leap forward this year.
Oh, huge. Yeah. I love Nyes as a player. I don't see him offensively the same as I see Zach Hyman.
No.
I see him like below that. But there's a lot to his game that I like.
But could he take a step forward?
Oh, of course, especially if he's going to be playing with those two. Like, you and I could pop on the wing there, and we're going to get fucking goals.
But honestly, man, we did this podcast years ago when Hyman was there, and we used to complain about Hyman on that wing.
Yeah,
we used to talk about it and be like, God, you're playing with Matthews and Marner, or you're playing with Austin. He was always with Austin Matthews.
Yeah,
and we're like, how can you not just put a few more pucks in the net?
Yeah,
but he got better and better every single year. And I kind of see that with Matthew Nyes.
Yeah, we flipped on Hyman, and he became the fixer. Every line they put Hyman on became the best line that they had that night.
That's true, yeah.
And then you just let him walk.
That was his last year in Toronto. Last year in Toronto, they just moved him around.
Yeah,
but couldn't find $5 million to keep him. Just where do you find it?
So yeah, I mean, how could you possibly find $5 million for? God, I can't. I just can't. So the deep, anything else up front, or what do you think of the D pairs? Because I don't love
it. You don't love the D pairs?
Not the way they have it constructed here. I don't know.
What would you change?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you when I give my lineup. But I don't know. Hackenpah. What's this guy? He's on LTIR. Right?
But I think they had to do that for cap reasons.
Who'd they put on LTIR? Yarncroc and Hackenpah?
Yeah, Yarncroc.
What about Dewar? He's still in the mix, right? Is he on LTIR, or is he just like the 14th forward? How many bodies are they carrying here? I don't know. Not to put you on the spot, but
I had it in front of me somewhere. But anyway, they had to basically, they're so close to the cap that they had to go into the LTIR. They had to put guys on LTIR. And because if you put guys on LTIR before the season starts, then that is the only cap space you're allowed. Like, I think that's how it works. You're only allowed that cap space. So they had to get as close to the cap as they could and then put guys on LTIR.
Okay.
So that come trade deadline, you can't keep collecting. Like, if you put a guy after that makes $1 million, if you put him on LTIR after the season starts, then you can accumulate that to like $4 million by the time the trade deadline is.
Okay.
If you do it before, you can't accumulate. So they had to get as close to the cap as they had to get as close as the cap as they could, then put guys on. So they came within $1 of the salary cap.
I saw that.
And then they put guys on, and I think they accumulated like $4 million or something in LTIR that they can use down the road. So that's why Hackenpah.
You were really going hard on the accumulate here.
Oh, well, you gotta accumulate, man.
Okay. So
do you know how to spell accumulate? It's
absolutely not.
CUM, I think, is in there.
Oh, yes, you're right.
Is it
Cume? Yes.
Cume?
Yeah, Cume.
Anyway, defense.
Okay. Let me just give you what I would have done. Like, I've got it right here. I'll just give you what I would have did, and slightly different, and you can give me your thoughts on that. Unless you want to tell me like what you like about what they're putting out there in the defense, the 8 defensemen, not including Hackenpah, that are still going to be kicking around here. Like, out of the 8 guys, like I think
I think judging by the preseason and what I saw, like those are the guys I would have went with. Those
Yeah,
six guys.
Myers is a big body. Like he kind of wasn't on my radar, but he's a big dude, so we'll see what he does. But I think he'll probably get game action.
But like Riley and Tanev, obviously that was going to be the first pair.
Yeah.
Ekman Larson and McCabe, I don't mind that. And then Benoit and Timmins, like, okay, maybe you want to switch one of those guys.
Yeah.
That's not a huge thing.
No, it's not. Well, I would have. Okay, here's what I would have did. Okay, up front and then on the back end, and then I'd like to hear your thoughts and then tell me how you would have did it. I've got the top line being Matthews, Marner, and Domi. That's what I would have did here because I love the way that Matthews played when he played with Domi last season. I thought he played his best hockey, most physical. When, like, I know Bertuzzi was on the other wing, but like Marner's obviously an upgrade there. So I think Matthews with Domi and Marner, that's what I would have rocked for line one. This would have been my opening night lineup. I would have kept Nylander at center. Yeah. And I would have played him with McMahon and Nyes. That would have been my second line. I know McMahon didn't have that good a camp, but that's how I would have spotted it. Like you can't talk about we're going to give it a look, we're going to give it a run and all this. And then it's just not, he's not even like,
they didn't even finish the preseason.
I know, it's crazy, man. Like, I mean, if you're going to be serious about it, then fucking do it. So I would have had Nylander stay at center for the first 20 games and play him with McMahon and Nyes to start the season. That's what I would have did. So third line, Tavares, Robertson, and Pacioretty. Fourth line, Kampf or Holmberg between Reeves and Lorentz. So some things that I would have did different there. And then on the back end, Riley, Tanev, no problem. I would have put McCabe and Benoit back together. They clearly had chemistry last season. And then again, I know Liljegren didn't have that great of a preseason, but I would have played him with another Swede in Oliver Ekman-Larsson, and I would have them as the bottom pair. And then the odd guys, Timmins, Myers, whatever, Hakanpää when he gets healthy. So
yeah,
does that make sense? Or
yeah.
No?
Oh, I get what you're. I like what you did with the forwards. I'm with you. If you're gonna if you're serious about giving Nylander a chance, you got to do it. I understand why they're going this way because you have 4 true centermen playing center.
Sure.
You know, Matthews, JT, Holmberg, Kampf, all of them are centermen.
But does Holmberg
many games at center?
Does Holmberg and Kampf scare you in any way? As like your center ice depth, like
I think you need one more centerman. The team needs another centerman, and then you could basically get rid of Kampf, and Holmberg could be your fourth line center at a fraction of the price.
Sure,
it doesn't scare me, but at least there's. I'm just saying I understand why they're doing this way, but the whole talk about William Nylander is going to play center, he's going to start, and he went to the coach and said, "You got to let me have a run at it."
He wanted to do it.
He played not even 3 periods as a centerman.
Maybe it all changed when Robertson stuck his stick in his ass.
I'll tell you, a lot of things have changed when you get the tip in your ass.
Yeah, maybe he was like, yeah, thanks, but no thanks, guys. I'll
go back to the wing. Thanks.
I'll just flow up and down the wing here. Anyway, so I don't know, and what do you think? Back end, like McCabe and Benoit, undeniable chemistry.
Yeah,
Benoit clearly played his best hockey last season when he played with McCabe. So why fuck with that? And
I would be okay with that, but I would not have Timothy Liljegren in this lineup.
Well, okay.
What does he do?
No,
he was terrible in training camp.
Yeah,
but go back to last season. He didn't play good.
No. But I understand. They just signed him though. So what are you doing? Like
I think they signed him so that he didn't go to arbitration, and then they're forced to pay him more than they could ever trade him for.
But if you're not, well, then just let him fucking go. But
you can get something for him, and you can never have enough defensemen. Like he's okay to have if people get hurt. I'm just saying he didn't do enough for me to be in the top 6 to start the year.
That's fair. I just put him in there because I'd like to see him play with Ekman-Larsson and see if they have any chemistry, because they're two Swedes, bottom pair. Give it a shot. That's what I would have did. But I'm cool.
But then you're kind of saying Connor Timmins, who outplayed him in training camp, you're going to be like, well, you have to sit because we want to see the chemistry.
No, I get it. Like I don't have a problem with Timmins being in, or even if they want to go with Myers. Like I don't have a problem. But
Like
So,
sometimes for some of the players, you as a coach, I would assume you have to be like you want a spot. Like you
yeah,
have to show that if you do try hard, you will make the team.
yeah. And by the way, I did this lineup probably like 4 days ago. So I
Yeah,
didn't
exactly.
I didn't even like, I didn't just throw
Well,
it together
I didn't
today.
have Pacioretty in mind
Yeah. Oh,
because
really?
like I wasn't sure. I had him kind of tossing around third and fourth line, but I was like,
I thought after the first game, you knew he was going to make the team.
but Bobby McMahon. I'm like, you just gave Bobby McMahon this contract.
Yeah.
The guy was.
I'm not worried about McMahon, man. Like
I know, but
slow-
like he's
slow
not
start.
playing. He's not playing on opening night.
Yeah.
I just figured he would probably get in the lineup. I don't know. I didn't think training camp meant that much. Like I knew it meant a lot for Pacioretty to make the team, but I didn't know it would. It was Bobby McMahon was going to be the odd man out.
Yeah. Okay. What do you got? What did you put down?
I had Matthews, Marner, and Nyes.
Yeah.
And then I had Nylander at center.
Yeah.
With Robertson and Domi.
Oh, Robertson high up in the lineup.
Yeah, well, after the training camp.
Why not? Why not?
Third line, I had JT. Well, I put Holmberg on the wing.
Yep.
Third line. I don't even know if he's played wing. I think he's played a little bit.
He's played wing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I had JT, Holmberg, and then I had Bobby McMahon.
Yep.
On the left side. And then the fourth line, I had Lorentz, Camp, and Reeves.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I put Pacioretty there with a question mark because he hadn't signed yet, and Lorentz question mark, he hadn't signed yet. I didn't know.
Yeah. Okay. So not a ton different there. A few different things. We're pretty close.
Well, we both had Nylander at center.
Yeah, because I want to see. You got to give it a look, man. If you talk the talk about giving it a look, then give it a fucking look.
Or what about
play
Domi?
One game? I don't.
Domi not no.
I don't
want to go down that road again.
Not really, man. Like I just think, like we talked about this last year. Once Domi really started cooking, it was really when he started playing with Matthews. Really, like he just took it to a different level there. So I want to see
that whole line just
they were awesome.
Yeah, it just the chemistry just sparked immediately.
So I don't know. Like I have Domi. I want to see Domi back with Matthews and Marner and just see what happens there. But anyway, so what did you put on? We'll see. Like I think just because, look, man, if we know anything here, like opening night lineup, fluid situation.
Oh, like it's going to change 10 minutes into the game.
100%, or game 2, or by the weekend. Like it's not. So this isn't just, I'm just talking opening night roster here, but we're going to get different looks all over the place. So what did you have for the D pairs then? Same as they had it?
Same as they had it.
Same as they had it?
Yeah, I had Riley Tanev, Larson McCabe, Benoit Timmins, and then Myers and Liljegren out. Honestly, I thought Liljegren was going to be traded before they made all the cuts and everything today. Like, I just thought he played so bad. They're so tight against the cap. They need the roster spots.
It's true.
I just figured he'd be gone for something, but nothing.
Not yet, anyway. Something could happen in the next couple days here, but
and then I had Joseph Wall and Stolarz.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the goalies in a sec. So Liljegren, like, you think you want to just give up on him? Like, you don't think that he could get in the lineup and find his game and like take a step here? You know,
I think Toronto's got to start being more like the other teams that win. Like I'm not saying give up on him, but he's not a young guy. No. He's been around a long time, and I think his peak is maybe third pair defenseman. So why do you keep holding on? Sure.
Without a doubt, that's his peak. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
But
in Toronto, we put so much stock. Like sometimes we look at players and we think they're better than what they actually are. We do it all the time.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I think sometimes you just have to cut your losses. He's a first round pick, but you just have to cut your losses.
I guess I'm open to whatever. If you want to see if the guy can take a further step and then give him like one last chance type thing, I'd be open to moving off him too. But
and I know a lot of people will tell you Liljegren's better than Timmins and Benoit and has a higher upside. I just have never seen it. Like he's had some bursts of good games, but he's been pretty bad for most of the time. Yeah,
few and far between for that guy. So I'm whatever they decide to do there, I'm open to it. The goalies, concerns here or what? Or you're liking what you're seeing here? Stolarz looked incredible,
amazing
against Detroit.
I don't know, like Yeah, I have no problems.
Some big time saves for Wall in the final preseason game on Saturday. But
both these guys are better than Samsonov.
Oh, without a doubt, man.
So yeah, we're better in net.
Like, I think Stolarz could be an absolute steal. Like, he just looked like rock fucking solid in there, man. So,
and he wants it. You hear him being interviewed. Like, he does not have a backup mentality.
No,
he has the mentality. He wants the starting role, or he wants to be 1B.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Like, they're going to split the first back-to-back to start the season. So I expect
five back-to-backs in the first 20
in October.
Something like they have an
Not
insane.
In October.
They have 5 back-to-backs in like their first like 25 games or something.
That's crazy.
They lead the NHL by far in back-to-backs and they play more games than anyone else by the time Thanksgiving rolls around. American Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
obviously.
I don't know, man. So like Wall, I imagine, gets the opening night start in Montreal, and then they play the Devils the next night. Stolarz grew up a Devils fan, so I imagine that he'll get that start. Sheldon Keefe right away, playing Kiefer right off the bat. So that should be interesting. Couple more things. We won't keep it too long here. Like, just whatever. We'll be back either maybe Wednesday just for a quick one after the opening night, or Friday after both games. We'll see. We'll bat that around and figure it out. Either Wednesday or Friday, one of those for sure will be back. I want to talk about this for a second. Morgan Rielly they're continuing to put Rielly out there on the power play. I do not like it.
Yeah.
He's no threat of a shot from the point. He's always looking to facilitate to one of the other wingers. I absolutely hate it. I don't want to see Rielly on the power play anymore. I want to see them go just load it. Put 5 forwards. Put Robertson out there or somebody else with more of an offensive threat. Go with 5 forwards. They've tried it under the Keefe administration. Didn't work. Always back to Rielly. And their power play always goes in the tank when we need it the most. I'm sick of seeing Rielly on the power play. Put Ekman Larson out there, or put 5 forwards. What do you think? Am I right or wrong with that?
Oh no, I'm on board with that.
Like, are you not over Rielly? Like, put somebody back there that can fucking blast it on net. Like,
just give it a different look. That was like last year they flirted with that, but it wound up sort of squeaking its way back to Rielly.
Yeah.
And this year, it's just the same thing. I get it. Like, I like the 5 forward idea. I get the idea of having a defenseman there in case something goes wrong. You have a defensive minded person back there,
sure.
But I like the ideas of the 5 forwards.
Switch it up.
I remember when Mitch quarterbacked a few times. I actually kind of like that because he's way better than Rielly at finding lanes for passing.
100%. I wouldn't. Yeah. Okay. So go with 5 forwards still, but have Mitch play in Rielly's spot and someone else. I don't know.
I'd be up for it.
Like, put anybody. I just try something different. The Rielly thing. It's just like, come on, man.
Let's give it time. I mean, I don't really know.
All preseason, he was the guy, top power play.
Yeah, but Mark Savard's running the power play now.
Yep.
I don't really know much about his
power
play or what he did in Calgary and St. Louis and stuff. So we will get to see if he is a creative type or if he's just going to fall back to same old.
Yep. Okay. Last thing I've got is there's been some whispers about a McCabe contract extension. Numbers haven't been floated, but I think our buddy Dragger was saying possibly in the low 5s, 5 something. No spring chicken, Jake McCabe here. Okay. So maybe you'll be shocked at this, Chad, but I'm not crazy about this contract extension. I like Jake McCabe as a hockey player.
But you like him when Chicago's eating half his salary.
100%. He's getting up there in age. Okay. Do I want to pay? Like, you sign him to a 5 or 6 year deal at let's say 5.2, something like that. Don't love that.
Would that be for next season?
He needs a new contract starting next season, Jake McCabe. So
you would have him and you would have Tanev. Like, you would have 2 old defensemen on
not the smartest. Rielly's not a spring chicken anymore either. Like,
he's not. No,
they're aging back there pretty quick. So I don't know. What would you do? Would you do a 5-year, $5.2 million extension for Jake McCabe at his age right now?
No,
neither would I. Neither would I. Would you do? What if you stretched the term out? So let's say
The what?
you go stretch the term, so it's like 6, like they did with Tanev, I guess. So longer term, short, less money. Would you do $4 million for 6 or 7 years? I don't know. That still sounds a little crazy, but
all the rules now around the cap, like back in the day, remember you could do that, and then just when the player retired, you just got rid of it. You just get rid of the contract. You'd be like, we give you 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with the rules now. So I would it's just risky all around.
What do you do?
1 or 2 years at a good price. Otherwise,
well, he's not gonna want to do that, I don't think.
You can't have 2, 3, 4 older defensemen on big contracts. You just can't have it.
I don't disagree with you. As a UFA, will some other team pay Jake McCabe $5 million?
Yes.
So then,
just like the Leafs paid Tanev.
Yeah.
Like he's an older guy.
Yeah.
The Leafs gave him the money. Someone will give it to Jake McCabe, and maybe
and it might
maybe
be
he wants to stay in Toronto, and it might be Treliving.
They're working on a deal. Like it looks like both sides want it to work out. So it wouldn't surprise me if Treliving gets this done, but I'm not going to like it. Anything north of 5, it's crazy for an aging player. Like you see, he's been banged up through training camp. The way he plays, I can see more injuries in the future here. So I don't know. I wouldn't go long-term McCabe at that money. I just wouldn't do it, but I don't know. Anyway, final thoughts to you, brother. And then we can just bounce out of here and things get cooking for real on Wednesday night.
Well, I just have one last topic, one last question for you and for me. Right now, is this Leafs team better than last year? What do you think? You want me to say what I think?
Yeah.
I think they are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
I think they've lost a little bit up front. Like Bertuzzi, he was good at the end of the year and pretty good in the playoffs. They lost a little bit like that, but I think the defense is stronger, and I think the goaltending is stronger.
Yeah.
And I think the coaching will be stronger.
Yeah. Like I look at other than Pacioretty and Lawrence up front, it's the fucking same team. It's just like
it's the same team with I think like better defense. That is,
for sure.
Even a fucking term.
The defense, without a doubt, better. Like finally having someone to play with Riley. Even Ekman Larson coming off the Stanley Cup win, Lawrence coming off the Stanley Cup win, and then bringing in a completely different style coach. Those are the reasons why they're a better team, and I think they will be a better team.
And we talked about it, Wall and Stolarz.
The goals. Yeah, the goals. They're just way better.
Wall's coming into his prime. Stolarz look great. He's also coming off a cup. I know he didn't play, but he's coming off a cup.
Yep. If Wall can stay healthy and Stolarz can stay healthy, I think they're both going to kill it. I think they're both going to have big seasons. And if not, we still got Hillbilly waiting in the wings. And don't forget about Murdoch either.
It's, you know what, though? Like last year, Martin Jones had to play a dozen games or so.
He saved the season.
Saved season. And years in the past, I mean, we have had Hutchison, and I can't even remember. What was the little Swede goalie's name? Do you remember his name? He kept coming up and going down and coming up.
Shalgren?
Yes, Eric Shalgren.
Yeah.
I think that's right. If not, comment below and let us know we're wrong.
His last name started with a K, but it was silent. They called him Shalgren, I think.
Okay. But yeah, like this year, even if Stolarz and Wall can't go, you still have Matt Murray, who might be able to give you something, and you have Hillbilly.
Yeah.
So the goaltending looks good.
Yeah, looks good. All right, brother. Wednesday night, Montreal, 7 p.m. Can't wait.
It's going to be a good one. Anyway, for the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast, we might be back after the game on Wednesday. If not, we will definitely be back on the weekend after a couple games have been played. And don't forget, follow us on social. Oh, before that, don't forget the link below if you want to join the Fantasy Hockey League. Dale posts the YouTube videos. He will post the link below. You can just click on it. You sign up for a team. It's an auto draft. It's going to be a fun time all season long. Follow us on social media at the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. While you're on YouTube, hit like, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time we post a video. Also, you can email us at tipinpodcast@gmail.com or through our social media. And until next time, I'm Chad.
I'm Dale.
We will.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Go Leafs, go, baby. Let's get this thing cooking in the right direction right out of the gates.
No sticks in the ass.
Nope. That experiment's over, Chad. Nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about. We'll catch you later.
You're listening to the Tip In Maple Leafs podcast with your hosts, Chad and Dave.